Okay, so hey guys, so tonight I wanted to do a eyeshadow duping video for you guys. I just discovered recent dupes in my collection to make a full video of eyeshadow dupes. I did receive 2 new palettes recently, and even though I've been loving them, I find that there are a lot of similar shades that I already have in my collection, but just the quality of the shadows are a little bit different. I've been absolutely loving them lately, but I really want to compare the two. And of course, I did grab a few other palettes for comparison that I think that have similar shades, but I'm going to be comparing my Makeup Geek shadows with higher end palettes to see if they have, exact dupes or pretty close ones, but we're going to be comparing the matte shades in here and also like a shimmer shade. Also, a couple of foiled shadows in here, quite a few actually, and a couple of the dual chromes. And I'm going to be comparing the 2 Lime Crime Venus palettes. I did just receive these a couple days ago. I actually used both of them today on my eyes. I am loving these already, and I've tried this one twice because I used 2 shadows from here today, and I used a couple of shadows from this palette today. I used them both together. So I'm going to be comparing the shades that are in here to the shades that I have from Makeup Geek. And then I'm also going to be comparing a few other shadows as well. So we're just going to jump right in. So first I'm going to be comparing shades from the Venus palette. So you get 8 shades in here, and we're going to be comparing some of the shades that I already owned. So I think that we're going to start off with Aura, because this is definitely the one that I think is the closest to one of the other shades from Makeup Geek. I think that Makeup Geek's Rapunzel is a pretty close, if not completely exact dupe for it. That's what the color looks like right here. I think the only difference is that Rapunzel might be a little bit more buttery and a little bit more intense, but we're going to swatch both of them. Rapunzel's a little bit more yellow. Aura's a little bit more white, so they're not completely exact, but they're pretty close. So this one is Aura up here, and this one is Rapunzel down here. On camera, they look pretty damn similar, but I've noticed with Rapunzel, it is just so super intense on the inner corners. Today I'm wearing Aura on the inner corners, but I just thought they were pretty similar. Let's just compare Shimma Shimma for comparison. Okay, Shimma Shimma seems to be actually a lot closer to Aura. So this is Shimma Shimma right here. This one is Aura from Lime Crime, and this one is Rapunzel. These two are obviously both from Makeup Geek. So Shimma Shimma is pretty similar. So that's the first one. Then the second one we're going to be comparing is this color right here called Shell to the Makeup Geek dual chrome shade in the shade, I believe, Mai Tai. Yeah, Mai Tai right here. So we're going to compare those two. These are actually like the first times that I'm comparing these next to each other. So we're going to do Shell first from Lime Crime. And then I'm going to do Mai Tai. Okay, so Mai Tai seems to be a lot lighter, but I just wanted to see like a comparison. So this one is Shell right here, and this one is Mai Tai from Makeup Geek. I'm just also going to swatch in the spotlight just to give a little bit of a comparison as well. Yeah, in the spotlight, definitely a lot lighter. So this one is Makeup Geek's Mai Tai. This one is Shell from Lime Crime, and then this one is in the spotlight from Makeup Geek. So these two shades, Shell does have it's like a light orange, and then Mai Tai is kind of more of like a darker orange. But the dual chrome effect is kind of almost exactly the same. They both reflect like kind of the same. So that's why you would think that they're pretty much dupes for each other. So that's another one. Then we're going to be comparing this shade Creation right here, this really beautiful warm brown, with the shade, I believe, I was going to compare it with Latte, but I don't think these are really dupes for each other. No, I think these ones are actually pretty, they're not really similar, but let's just watch them anyway. Creation's this beautiful pigmented shade, so pigmented. So that's Creation, and then I'm going to compare, actually let's compare it with Cocoa Bear. Cocoa Bear is a little bit, it's definitely browner, but this is a Creation and this one is Cocoa Bear. So Creation definitely has a little bit more red in it actually, so they're not really similar. So now I'm going to be comparing Lime Crime's Icon right here with this shade Mocha from Makeup Geek, which is this dark brown right here. I think Icon is more warmer toned and Mocha's a lot more cool toned, but we're going to compare the two. So this one is Icon on the top. And then the other one is Mocha from Makeup Geek. Okay, so Icon seems to have more glitters in it, and it's definitely it's definitely more sorry. It's definitely more of a darker shade compared to Mocha. So this is Icon up here, really deep chocolatey brown, and this one is Mocha, a lot lighter and more like cooler toned. I think the other shade I wanted to compare it with was in the Venus 2 palette for Mocha. No, actually it's not at all. Okay, so that's that one. And then the last shade I wanted to compare is this color Divine from the palette right here, from the Lime Crime palette. And I'm going to be comparing it with Makeup Geek's Latte right here. So let's see how similar those are. Pretty much the only ones that are really dead on is Shimma Shimma and Aura, but Aura seems to have a little bit less reflectiveness in it, but so far not really like exact, but they're pretty close. This one for some reason is not giving me like the best swatch, but whatever. Okay, again, these aren't really exact. This one is Latte from Makeup Geek, and this one is Divine. Divine's a lot more purpley brown, and Latte's a lot more of a like cool tone light brown. So that is from this palette, and also I do want to compare a couple of the red shades because both of these palettes have like a matte red in them. So I'm going to be comparing this shade right here from the Lime Crime palette, this red one right here on the bottom, to this shade right here, which is in the Venus 2 palette, this shade called Mud. That one is called Muse in the Venus 1 palette, and this one is called Mud in the Venus 2 palette. And I'm going to be comparing both of them with the shade on the bottom right here, this dark red color called Bitten from Makeup Geek. So we're going to see if these are similar to each other. Let's take Muse first. I think Muse is going to be a lot more similar to Bitten than Mud is. Okay, these do not want to give me a good swatch right now. I'm like running out of room. Okay, so Muse and Bitten seem to be pretty similar. This one is Muse and that one is Bitten. Sorry for the terrible swatch. I was trying to get a better one. Maybe I'll just swatch it on my other hand for you. Okay, let's just do it over here. So first one is Muse, the second one is Mud, and the third one is Bitten. Bitten does not want to give me a good swatch right now. So this one is Bitten, this one is Muse, and this one is Mud. That's from the Venus 1 and that's from the Venus 2. So none of them seem actually to be very similar. Muse is definitely a lot redder than the other two. Bitten seems to be like a light wine color, and Mud seems to be more of a red brown. So, but Mud and Bitten are kind of similar, but Bitten seems to be a little bit more red than Mud is. Mud is definitely the darkest. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe some of this off so I can compare more of them for you, because I have eyeshadow everywhere. Okay. So now I think that's everything in the Lime Crime palette. So pretty much, you know, I'm really surprised that like really actually none of these are really exact dupes for Makeup Geek ones. Only really Aura's close to Shimma Shimma and Rapunzel, I guess. Aura and Rapunzel almost look like exactly the same in the actual pan, but when you swatch them, they're actually kind of not as similar as you think they would be. So now we're going to compare a couple shades in the Lime Crime Venus 2 palette. I'm going to be comparing this shade Mustard right here to the shade Desert Sands from Makeup Geek, which is this one right here. So we're going to do that. This one is Mustard up here from Lime Crime, and this one is Desert Sand. So Desert Sand seems to have a lot more brown in it. It's more of like a sandy brown color, and Mustard is a little bit more yellow. Mustard is the color I have in my crease today. And then I'm just going to use Makeup Geek's Chickadee just to compare a little bit. Chickadee seems to be a little bit similar to Mustard, but it's definitely a little bit more orange. So nothing exact there. Then we're going to be comparing, what's the other shade I wanted to do? This shade Pigeon right here with Makeup Geek's Secret Garden shadow. And I'm also going to be comparing it with Havoc as well. So I'm going to be comparing these two shades to Pigeon. So those are both the dual chrome shades. Because this has a little bit more, this has like a dual chrome effect to it when you actually swatch it. It's really, really, really pretty. I actually think that Makeup Geek's Insomnia might be a really good dupe for it. But I don't own Insomnia. But I think Secret Garden might be pretty close. Yeah, those are, oh my god, those are so similar. Holy crap. So this one is Pigeon up here, and this one is Secret Garden from Makeup Geek. The dual chrome effect is basically the same, but Secret Garden seems to have a little bit more of a green base, and actually Pigeon does. Secret Garden has a little bit more of a blue base. That's crazy. This one is Pigeon from Lime Crime, and this one is Secret Garden from Makeup Geek. Those are pretty dead on. So let's just compare Havoc for a little bit of comparison. Havoc is definitely different, but pretty much all of them have like the same kind of dual chrome effect. No, Havoc is so pretty. I love it. See that color? That one is Havoc right there. Actually, I was going to compare that with a Urban Decay shade. Just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, I forgot I wanted to compare this Urban Decay Solstice shadow with Makeup Geek's Havoc. I know this is different because it has like a lot more glitters in it. I just wanted to see it for comparison. So that one is Solstice right there. Yeah, they're definitely not the same. Solstice is right there. It has a lot more glitter in it. So that is Urban Decay's Solstice. So yeah, that's crazy how similar Secret Garden and Pigeon are. I still haven't worn Secret Garden yet. I'm making it my goal to wear it next week because I'm planning on wearing my Ariel dress. I mean my Ariel shirt. I can't even talk right now. And then I think I'm going to compare just one more shade from this palette. I'm going to compare Lime Crime's Fly to Makeup Geek's Voltage, because I think that's the most similar one. Yeah, those are pretty similar too. So this one is Lime Crime's Fly right here, and this one is Makeup Geek's Voltage. So Voltage is a little bit more gold, and Fly is a little bit more of like a very light green gold color, but they are pretty similar. Those are pretty dupeable, honestly. So, we did find a couple similarities. Fly, I am wearing Fly on my lid today, but it kind of like faded a little bit, but whatever. But I think that's it for the Lime Crime palette, but really only found like 2 dupes. So yeah, that's it for that. And then the only other foiled shadows we're going to compare, I'm going to be comparing these 2 Metal Crush shadows from Kat Von D. I have the shades Synergy, which is this one right here, and the shade Dose. I'm going to be comparing these 2 to Makeup Geek's Flamethrower, right there, and Makeup Geek's Mesmerize, which is right there. Or Grandstand. It's called Grandstand, my bad. So I'm going to be comparing Dose and Flamethrower first. I love these shadows. They're amazing. The Kat Von D ones, amazing. But of course, I love these Makeup Geek shadows too. Holy shit. Those are so similar. Holy crap. This one is Dose right here from Kat Von D, and this one is Flamethrower. Literally look like the same eyeshadow, all except Dose is a little bit more red than Flamethrower is. Flamethrower is a little bit more orange. That is crazy. Do you see that right there? No wonder why I love these shades so much, is because they're basically the same. And then I'm going to be comparing Synergy with Grandstand. Let's do Grandstand and Mesmerized. Okay, so none of these shades are similar to each other, so that's good. This one is Synergy from Kat Von D. This one is Grandstand from Makeup Geek, and this one is Mesmerized from Makeup Geek. None of them are the same, so that's good. Thank God. But Flamethrower and Dose, pretty exact. So I figured that those ones were going to be really similar to each other. I think that's everything for... I'm done with Lime Crime. Now I'm going to do a couple of Morphe ones, actually. I forgot I wanted to compare one color from the Morphe palette to these orangey shades. So I'm just going to compare this orange shade right here to them. But I think this one's a lot more of a lighter orange. I'm just going to compare this shade as well. Okay, these are all from the Morphe palette. The Morphe one's so damn pigmented. That's like one swipe. But none of these are similar to each other, so that's good. The Morphe one is a little bit more bronzy orange, and that's like that reddish brown color down here. So that's good. Oh, I forgot I wanted to compare Steampunk to the Kat Von D shadow too. Okay, so Steampunk is a lot darker, which is right here, and it has a dual chrome effect. So that's good. Okay. And now we're just going to be comparing a couple of other shades. I'm going to be comparing a couple shades from actually I think just one from the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. I'm just going to be comparing this red shade right here to Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. And I think I'm going to compare this one to Mocha. So you guys know what these colors are from the palette. I don't really have to say them. If you own the palette, just look at the back. So that is the color from the Kat Von D palette, and that is Cocoa Bear. They're pretty similar, but Cocoa Bear is definitely a little bit more warm tone. So those are those 2 colors. And the other colors I wanted to do is this color right here, which is like this matte brown shade from the Kat Von D palette. I love her products so much lately. I am so into her products. Oh my god, I have no room. What am I gonna do? Let's just, I'm just going to swatch it down here with Mocha. Those are pretty similar. The Kat Von D one's a little bit darker, so this is the Kat Von D one, and this is the Makeup Geek one right there. This is makeup. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and this is Makeup Geek's Mocha. So that is it for that. And then the last ones we're going to be comparing are just like two that I think that are so similar that I think that I just need to compare them. So the first one is a color from the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. This is called the shade Honey Pot right here. Not Honey Pot. Cashmere Bunny. I'm thinking about gold shades. I don't know why. Oh my god. Cashmere Bunny's up here. Cashmere Bunny. Can you get it together? Thank you. So I'm going to be comparing that. If I could get a swatch of these frigging shadows today, that'd be lovely. With Makeup Geek's Latte. Okay, Cashmere Bunny's definitely more cool toned, and this is Latte from Makeup Geek. So, not really similar. Cashmere Bunny's definitely a unique color. And then the last ones I'm going to do is just Urban Decay's Ammo palettes. This palette right here. I'm going to be comparing the shade. Actually, they're really not similar at all. I was going to compare it to Makeup Geek's Pegasus, but they're not really that similar at all. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have any other ones I want to compare. Oh yeah, just Makeup Geek's Pegasus with ColourPop's Ibiza. So I do think these shades are pretty similar. I love the shade so much. It's amazing. One of my all-time favorites. So this one is ColourPop's Ibiza, and this one is Makeup Geek's Pegasus. Again, very not similar. I forgot, I wanted to compare Pegasus to that. Actually, they do look pretty similar if you do swatch them together. So this one is Shattered from Urban Decay, and this one is Pegasus. They're pretty similar, actually. Pegasus is actually pretty light compared to Shattered, and that one is ColourPop's Ibiza. And that is pretty much it. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Oh, I forgot I wanted one more. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But I wanted to compare Makeup Geek's Magic Act with a gold shade from the Morphe palette. I actually want to compare like two of them. I'm retarded. I'm going to do these two shades from the Morphe palettes. And I'm going to compare Makeup Geek's Untamed. That's definitely a lot lighter and yellow with Magic Act. Nope, no dupes there. Not at all. This one is from the Morphe palette. That is Makeup Geek's Untamed. That is from the Morphe palette, and this is a Magic Act from Makeup Geek. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm all over the place. That is it. So I keep on like finding shades I want to compare. Just one more, I promise. Actually, two more. I've just been doing like 10 million shades from the Morphe palette because I want to see how similar they are to Makeup Geek. Let me wipe these off. Give me one second. Just give me a second. Okay, last one. I just wanted to compare a couple more from the Morphe palette. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I just wanted to compare like these two shades up here. This shade and this shade right here. They're not really working on this hand, so I have to like reopen this damn Morphe palette every single time I do it, but Okay, so these two are from the Morphe palette. This is Makeup Geek's Starry Eyed, this is Makeup Geek's Phantom, and this one is Makeup Geek's I'm Peachless. The only two I would say are very similar is I'm Peachless and the one from the Morphe palette, but I'm Peachless is definitely more orange, if you can see those reflections. And yeah, that's it. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, it's UW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819. And thanks for sticking with me, for being friggin' crazy right now. Bye!